Hi everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. What I'm going to use today are masks, and there are lots of different ways that you can use them. You can spritz the card to give you the pattern underneath. You can stencil through the masks. But what I'm going to use today is modelling paste and some glitter, and we're going to get this kind of effect on our card to make a background. So this is the mask that I'm going to be using, and this is the effect it gives you with the modelling paste, and of course yours will be whatever colour glitter you use. So what you need to do is have a piece of card that's bigger than your mask, and all I'm going to do is just tape this down so that it doesn't move while I'm applying the modelling paste, and we're going to trim it down afterwards anyway. So I'm just adding that to a piece of card, and I'm just lightly trimming the edges. It's not interfering with the pattern at all. So we'll just tape that down. And now that's in place, and it won't move while I apply the paste, but it's just on the edges of the card. Now the modelling paste that I'm using is Deco Art, and for this I'm going to need a spatula. So with a spatula and your modelling paste, you're just going to spread it over your mask like you would when you're buttering your toast, and you're going to make sure that it's all covered. You can spread it around, and once you know that that's all covered, you can just scrape off any excess and pop it back into the container. Okay, now once you've done that, you're going to take some glitter, any that you have, any colour that you want, and all you're going to do is just sprinkle that on the top, and you're going to make sure that it's in all the little bits. And once you're happy that that's all covered, I'm just going to move that out the way. I'm going to take off the masking tape very carefully. So don't let the mask move. So we'll just tape this off. And then underneath that piece, I'm going to add in some copier paper, and we'll get rid of this out of the way so it doesn't dry up. So we'll add this to some copier paper. I'm very carefully going to peel that mask off, and we can also tip off any excess glitter. Now what we need to do now is just pop that on one side and allow that to dry, and this can just be washed off in some warm soapy water, and it's ready to be used again next time. And this can be poured back into your glitter container, ready for you to use on another project. Now you must make sure that your mask is clean, because if you don't, you won't be able to get a smooth spread the next time you use it. And once your card is dry, all I did with mine was just round off the corners, and then I've added it to some gold card, and that's just created mats and layers for a card. So that now is all ready to use on a card. Now for my sentiment I'm going to use Fancy Tags 3 from Spellbinders, and they have matching bling from Want to Scrap. So you need to make sure that the die that you wish to use fits the sentiment that you want to use, and that will. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and stamped my sentiment in VersaFine, and I've covered it in clear powder, and then I've added my die and I've cut the sentiment out, and I've cut it twice, once in silver and once with the sentiment on it. And this is the piece of bling that I'm going to use, and that will sit on my sentiment. Now this one I'm going to cut in half along its widest part, and then this is going to sit as a little frame behind the main part. Okay, so that will leave just a little shadow of silver around the main sentiment, and once that's covered with the bling as well, that will be really pretty to add to my card. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I've got my sentiment all completed. I've put 2 pieces of foam tape on the back. That's now ready to add to the card. So I've created the base to my card, which is a 7-inch square. I've cut myself a smaller silver layer, and I've cut myself another smaller layer in a nice stripy blue, and I've embossed this. So I've just popped the base card out of the way, and I'm gluing the blue stripy card onto the silver mat, and I'm just going to leave a nice border around the edge. So this is the piece that I'm going to work on for now. Now I've cut some organza ribbon and some satin ribbon, and that's going to go around this base, and I have some organza and satin ribbon to go around the top part, and this part's going to be added with foam tape. Now I need the ribbons to line up, so I'm going to fit this in place first, and then underneath I can readjust that so that it follows on from this piece. So I'm going to go away and glue these in place first. Now I've glued these 2 pieces in place on the back, but I haven't taken the backing off the foam tape yet, because I need to decide where on that blue base this is going to sit, and then I can line up underneath these 2 ribbons and glue those in place, and now it looks as if the ribbon is wrapped twice around each piece. So once we've got this stuck in place, I'm now going to add in some flowers, and these are all from Wild Orchid Crafts, and I'm going to pop them along the side, and I've got a mixture of blue and white, so we'll turn that one round so it faces this way. So I'm just going to dry run where I want these flowers to sit, and then I shall go away and glue them in place. So I'm adding in some buds into the white flowers, and I've got smaller roses, so we'll just add these in along here, and I've also got some small buds that I've curled the stems on, and I'm going to pop these in along the edges. Okay, so I'll go away, I'll come back when these are all glued in place. So once my flowers are glued in place, I'm just going to add a little bit of glue onto the edges of the petals, and then I'm going to just sprinkle them with some glitter and top off the excess. Now once that glue is dry, the glitter will lie flat on the flowers. Now the next thing I'm going to do is pop in the sentiment, but because this is being glued onto these glitter pieces, I'm just going to add in a little bit of extra glue to the tape and pop that in place, and we'll have that along there. And then we'll add in the ribbon, which is the same blue organza and the satin ribbon, and I'm just going to sit that along the bottom, and then into the centre of that I'm just going to add in really shiny Dazzler, and I'm using hot glue all the way through this because I don't want these things to fall off my card. Now once I've done that, I can add all that to my base card. Just make sure that your base card is the correct way around, and I'm going to add all that in to my base. So there you have a very pretty background for your cards. You can use any colour glitters that you've got. It doesn't take a lot of glitter to do it. And the moulding, the modelling paste, there's many brands of modelling paste, and some you can buy that actually have the glitter in it. But there you've got a finished card. You've also got a tone on tone card, which would be ideal for a wedding.